This week on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Really, it's just getting our kids stronger and faster this time of year and getting them ready for spring ball.
That one finds some floor. Well struck by Ende for Pitt.
Obviously, the team is great. The coaching staff is great. I appreciate the fact that this was a strong academic school, and I was able to do what I wanted to do academically.
One of the best things about Pitt is that anything you ever need is right at your fingertips.
All this and more on this edition of Pitt Beyond the Script. It starts as a game, a gathering of friends. And slowly, as some begin to sit back, others stand out. The joy of playing turns to passion. And as the skills develop, so do the minds. And they begin to seek challenges, peers, and mentors to further their abilities and opportunities. The love and passion becomes a thirst for people in a place
we're going to show everybody else in the country who we are.
That will embrace and push a hunger for excellence.
Blitz, the ACC.
And to be in and among champions. These are the dreamers, scholars, leaders. These are the guides, teachers, mentors. And this is the opportunity, the challenge, the place. This is Pitt Beyond the Script.
You gotta be able to carry your brothers. That's leadership. We're progressing forward. Still got a long way to go.
Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside head football coach Pat Narduzzi. I'm Rob King of AT&T Sportsnet. Coach, great to catch up with you. If you can, just let us know what's going on with the football program this time of year.
Well, we're in our winter conditioning program right now, Rob, where Coach Stacchiotti, our strength coach, and his 4 assistants really have our kids 8 hours a week. So really 8 hours is focused on, weightlifting and, some type of conditioning where we're out in the snow, running, gassers and striders as we call them. But really it's just getting our kids stronger and faster this time of year and getting them ready for spring ball. So we've got, I think, an 8-week period. We're, going up into spring ball. We're getting our guys in shape and making them, a lot better football players.
When you have a new coach, a new strength coach, with which Coach Stacchiotti is, how do you sort of decide what is going to be the point of emphasis, what might change from previous regimes? Do you leave that up to him? Is that a discussion you have with him? How does that work?
Yeah, he's the strength coach. He's the coordinator. To take a football coach down the weight room, it'd be all messed up. Okay, so I let everybody, let recruiting do their thing, and you try to point out different things that you like. But Coach Stacchiotti came from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's outstanding. You kind of figure out in an interview process what you want. You hear what they do, and the first thing it does, it starts with culture. What kind of discipline do you have down there? Everybody knows how to bench and squat, but if you walk down to our weight room at any time, you're going to see there's a ton of energy and a lot of discipline, as the hard work's going on, and I think they're having fun down there as well.
Okay, try to get in here, get our work done so we can get down there and roll. You guys understand that? Yes, sir. On the whistle, get your flex lines.
Well, you mentioned recruiting, and we haven't talked to you since your recruiting class came in, ranked number 22 in the country by Rivals, your highest rated class, again, according to the recruiting experts. What did you think of the way that recruiting day went?
We were excited. Obviously, it was the first recruiting date in December that we signed, our 21 guys, and we think it went, really well. And I always say this about a recruiting class: you'll find out when they get here, and sometimes it takes, 2 years to figure out if it's really the 22 ranked class or if it's the, 222 ranked. But I can't say this: we've got 12 guys here mid-year that came in, and when you look at them and you see where they are athletically, I'm excited about it. The other 12 we will get in the summer for summer term 2, but we've got half of them here right now, and I'm excited about who they are. I'm excited about their focus and their work ethic right now.
It was such a trying year for recruiting. I'm sure maybe some of the guys played full seasons, maybe some of them didn't play at all. I mean, do you have to rely on previous scouting, previous contact with the players, and able to get a class together like this?
Yeah, Rob, it's a great question. It was a juggling act as far as what we do. Some guys didn't ever play a game in their senior year. Some of them have never seen the University of Pittsburgh. It was all through Zoom, FaceTime calls, walking around the office, showing them what it looks like. So it was very little contact. But last January we were out, we got a good window so we could at least see some of these guys on the hoof. When I say hoof, live, whether it's just, in a school and watching them walk by, watch them in gym class, whatever it may be. And so that helped us a little bit know how big they were, really looking at them and saying, you can watch them on tape and love them, but, what do they look like? I mean, you want someone that's going to grow into what you want at that certain position. So it was hard, but our coaches did a heck of a job. This 22 class is going to be a little bit harder because we haven't been out for a year. We didn't get to see them last fall. We didn't go out in January or December. We're not going to get out in May, which we usually get out. So it's going to be probably an entire year of no, opportunity to see these guys live in person.
We are all hoping that by football season, things will get back to some sense of normalcy, whether it's fans in the stands or the way you can practice or all those things. What have been the biggest obstacles? Recruiting, you just mentioned one of them. What have been some of the other difficult challenges for the program, for every program?
Well, I think the biggest one is development. Let's just take the quarterback position, for example. Kenny Pickett has been developed. We knew what we had. You get 2 days of spring ball or 3 days of spring ball last year, there's no development going on. So for that quarterback position to get your backup or your third team guy or to find out who the backup is or who the third team guy is, we didn't have much development. Missing all that spring, you jump into fall and it's like, we got to get Kenny more reps because he hadn't played since last, December, against Eastern Michigan. So we've got to get him more reps and you really don't know who your backup quarterback is, but that was for every position. So really those young guys lost a lot of development time, which we're trying to gain this spring, and we got to have a great spring, try to catch some of those kids up.
You bring in a new linebacker coach, somebody you have experience with. First of all, what attracted you to Coach Manilow? And then the other thing is, again, the challenge is for him getting to know his kids, because it's not practice, it's not maybe the same meetings, the same environments you've had in the past.
Well, I'll start with the last part of that question. We're not practicing, but while we're in the office, our kids are in here in that 8 hours, and they're coming up to see us all the time. We're having meetings with our kids voluntarily. Coach Manilow's had a great opportunity to meet all his guys, get to know those, and sit down and have a one-on-one meeting with each individual in that room. But Coach Manilow's done an outstanding job. I've got a long-lasting relationship with him since we coached him. He was a walk-on at the University of Cincinnati. He played linebacker for us at a high level. Was a guy you could count on as a player, and you can count on him as a coach. He came up to Michigan State as a coach as well, was a graduate assistant coach, learned what we were doing as a coach now. And then he went on his own little track from Valparaiso through the ranks all the way to Bucknell as a defensive coordinator. And it was a slam dunk hire. We had some other guys we looked at, but from the very beginning, he was the #1 guy, and everybody was going to have to beat him out.
Oh, a generous gift, a spring game, and a pro day. All that and more coming up when we resume on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Hey, yo, finish on me, finish on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Jeff Capel Show here on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
We wanted just to try to work on us.
Gonna take it all the way to the stop.
Lots to sort out as Terrell Brown blocks the shot.
Their love of basketball.
Basketball is really my vehicle.
Hayes back the other way, got blocked by Odukali.
I really appreciate Pitt.
Jeff was trying to make sure you were entertained.
The Jeff Capel Radio Show, Fridays at 4 p.m. on AT&T Sportsnet.
Be smart. We have to have poise. What? 1, 2, 3.
And he is in for the score. Kenny Pickett
has run with nothing but guts and effort. That's what the senior just continues to do.
Kenny, you announced late Tuesday night on Twitter, 1 more year. How excited are you to come back, and what went into that decision?
Yeah, I'm very excited to come back, and I think a lot went into the decision. I talked to my coaches, my family, obviously. Then I talked to Peyton Manning, and that was, probably some of the biggest pieces of information and guidance that I got was from him and how he went through it with his decision back when he was at Tennessee. And I really just wasn't comfortable, taking that next step right now. So I felt more comfortable coming back to Pittsburgh and finishing my last year out.
You didn't know when you woke up that you were going to come back to Pitt for the 2021 season. So walk me through that day. And ultimately, it was your decision.
Yeah, I woke up and my close friends were texting me like, "What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "I'm probably gonna go work out, and then I don't know, we'll figure that out later." So I really just taking it a step at a time through that day. But it got later at night, and I just sat down with my dad, and he asked me, he's just like, "What do you feel most comfortable doing?" And I said going back to Pittsburgh after everything I've heard, and that's just where I want to be for one more year. So he was on board with it, and that was really it. I called Coach Narduzzi, and that was the rest is history.
On a 4th down and 3, Davis, Matthews, got it! Pickett caught it, and Pitt ties the game!
What message do you have to the fans for the fall of 2021 and for your teammates? I know you don't make promises, but what message do you have for them?
First, I'd like to appreciate all the support they've given me throughout my career, and then, the reaction of, me coming back, just the love I have for the city, and to see that love reciprocated back to me, and, it means the world to me. So, I'll give everything I have to get prepared for this season, and, I'll hold my teammates accountable, and then, every Saturday we'll give it our all, and you'll see a team that plays really hard, come this next season.
Well, thank you, Kenny. We look forward to the fall.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Curtis Martin embodies the very, very best of the University of Pittsburgh. Obviously a highly accomplished football player. He's enshrined in Canton.
Hit Pitt like a storm as a freshman in 1991. Had a string of very productive games as Pitt got off to an undefeated start.
He was almost like a ghost when he got into that hole. And guys would lunge, he's that way. He's not the way I thought he was going to go.
He was a joy to watch. Quick, elusive, just an all-around exciting football player.
Inside the 30, he'll go. Touchdown, Pittsburgh, Curtis Martin.
The quintessential Curtis Martin moment at Pitt was the 1994 opener against a very highly regarded Texas team.
Curtis ran for 251 yards, a great start to the season.
One of the greatest individual performances by a Pitt running back ever.
Then he went on to the NFL, 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro selection, and in 2012 was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Curtis impresses me as the type of person who has taken all the adversity he's encountered in his life, and he has overcome it, and it has made him so much stronger.
Well, I think Pittsburgh will always be home for me. I feel so grateful and humbled by what the city of Pittsburgh and the University of Pittsburgh has done for me.
Jimmy Joe Robinson is still considered to be one of the greatest high school football players to ever come out of Pennsylvania. But what made Jimmy Joe Robinson special is that he helped pave the way for me and so many others to play the game that we love. You see, Robinson was the first African American to play varsity football here at the University of Pittsburgh. Jimmy Joe played for the Panthers in 1945, 47, and 48. And throughout his years, he would lead the team in rushing, receiving, and scoring. On that 1945 team, he was followed by other black athletes, Alan Carter and Herb Douglas, who would become famous for his Olympic track accomplishments. There needs to always be a first in everything. Robinson will be remembered as Pitt football's Jackie, even if his name is Jimmy Joe.
We are here for a special purpose, and that's to celebrate Mr. Bobby Greer.
I don't want to play in the game without Bob. Let's play together as a team. We want Bob to come with us.
Bobby Greer's legacy of courage will remain forever a part of Pitt football.
Here on the Pitt Panthers radio network.
We wanted just to try to work on us.
Gonna take it all the way to the snow.
Lots to sort out as Terrell Brown blocks the shot.
Their love of basketball.
Basketball is really my vehicle.
Hayes back the other way, got blocked by Odukali.
I really appreciate, Pitt.
Jeff was trying to make sure you were entertained.
The Jeff Capel Radio Show, Fridays at 4 p.m. on AT&T Sportsnet.
My name is Abby Viniski. I'm a senior at the University of Pittsburgh, double majoring in Human Resources Management and Marketing with a certificate in Sports Management, and this is my Pitt story. So Pitt's offered me tons of opportunities. I've had the chance to study abroad, and it was actually my first time leaving the country. And then also I've had 3 internships through Pitt Business, and so my first internship was the summer after my sophomore year, and I actually had the opportunity to intern with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And so I was their legal and HR intern. I went to PNC Park every single day. I sat in the front office of the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was bigger than anything I could ever imagine. It was the greatest thing ever. I would give the advice to incoming freshmen that they should take every opportunity that they can. College can be really scary and it can be very overwhelming, but joining clubs, making friends, getting involved, going abroad, just any opportunity you can get your hands on, take advantage of. One of the best things about Pitt is that anything you ever need is right at your fingertips. If you need help in classes, we have tutoring. If you need career advice, we have career counselors for that. We have literally anyone you can talk to for anything you ever need. It really is a community. Everybody is so welcoming, and you really do find your place along the way. After coming to Pitt, I can honestly say it was the best choice I've ever made. I've gone abroad, I've done multiple internships through Pitt Business, and I've made so many friends and so many opportunities.
Chinaza Ende, a senior out of Houston. Chance here for Ende to end this set, and she does it.
Ende fires one up on the right side. That's good for the Q.
So the reason I chose Pitt was because I felt like it was a place where I didn't have to compromise on any of the things that I value. Obviously the team is great, the coaching staff is great, the level of volleyball played here is great, and the team culture is great. But also I appreciated the fact that this was a strong academic school and I was able to do what I wanted to do academically while also playing on a high level team. And then of course I loved the campus. I loved that it was like in a city. So I felt like it was just a perfect blend of everything that I wanted in a school.
That one finds some floor. Well struck by Ende for Pitt.
I think now, like, formally having the title of, like, being a captain has made me kind of be more conscious of my influence on the team. I think in the past, I wouldn't say I wasn't a leader, but I wasn't as deliberate about using my voice and using my influence in that way. I think being a captain has made me really, like, kind of push outside of my comfort zone and really make sure that I'm consistently reflecting the ideals of the coaching staff and reflecting the ideals of this program. And honestly, it makes me work harder because now that I'm a leader, I want to lead by example. So now, you know, I have to make sure that everything I'm doing is backing up all the things that I'm saying.
And good block. Ende.
There's 2 major things that stand out to me about Fish. The first one is that he just genuinely knows the game at a high level. He's coached here internationally, he's coached for national teams, he's coached for different college levels, men's and women's. So he's seen a lot of good volleyball. And then I think the second thing that I really appreciate about him is that he is very interested in us as people. He's not just in it for the wins or the athletes, he's in it also for like the relationships and like loving the people that you're around all the time. For me, the Pitt volleyball team has been a family from day one. And I think that's kind of the most important thing, honestly, because at the end of the day, I'm spending a lot of hours of my day with these people. So genuinely loving and caring about them and trusting them and being vulnerable around them and being like comfortable enough to feel vulnerable around them, I think has been really important for me. I think we're just working on holding each other to a high standard, a standard that like the coaches kind of set, but that we set for each other. And I think that just comes with a lot of accountability and trust and knowing that, you know, the person next to you just wants the best for you, that, you know, everything that we say to each other comes out of a place of love. So. You know, as student athletes, we kind of have a reach in a way that a lot of people our age just don't really. And I think a lot of times it can be easy to kind of see issues like Black Lives Matter or protests or whatever as kind of just ideas and theories and not really see the humanity behind them. And I think us kind of putting a face to the issues that we're talking about, like putting a face to discussions about microaggressions or putting a face to discussions about, you know, feeling excluded from certain spaces, I think can be really important. You know, obviously, you know, I'm not a politician, I'm not a grassroots activist, I'm just a person, but I think that is one small way I feel like I can make a change. Hi, I'm Shanaz Ende, right side hitter from Pitt Volleyball, and you're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
So my man Steph Curry, he's good and all, but I know I can beat him in a shooting contest. If he want to have a shooting contest with me, call me. My name is Destiny Struther. I'm from Flint, Michigan, and I'm a sophomore guard. So I always played like up a level in basketball, and I was like 15 at the time playing against 17 and 18-year-olds. So me, I'm thinking, oh, they about to bust my head. But it was the opposite way around, and I'm like, oh, we on to something here. Basketball is more of my peace. It keeps me calm. Like when I'm going through things or I feel away, I always just look to pick up a basketball. It just takes my mind off everything that's going on in the outside world. My hero, I would say, is my grandmother. We've always been close. Like she passed away now. She keeps me going, I would say. Like when I think about her, I just think of how she'd want me to be successful and accomplish everything. I chose Pitt because I felt welcome here, like a family-oriented place. I just knew it was the place when I came. I know it was the best decision that I could have made.
We gotta be smart. We have to have poise.
Jeff Capel Show here on the Pitt Panthers radio network.
We wanted just to try to work on us.
Gonna take it all the way to the stop.
Blocks to sort out as Terrell Brown blocks the shot.
Their love of basketball.
Basketball is really my vehicle.
Hayes back the other way, got blocked by Odu Cali.
I really appreciate, Pitt.
Jeff was trying to make sure you were entertained.
The Jeff Capel Radio Show, Fridays at 4 p.m. on AT&T Sportsnet.
We are here for a special purpose, and that's to celebrate Mr. Bobby Greer.
I don't want to play in the game without Bob. Let's play together as a team. We want Bob to come with us.
Bobby Greer's legacy of courage will remain forever a part of Pitt football.
Be together and take care of each other. That's being a team. It ain't me. I got me here. I got here. Okay? Get everybody here and get the work done. That's what teams do. Okay? Somebody got it.
Welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script, again with head football coach Pat Narduzzi. Coach, you and your wife Donna recently made a six-figure contribution to the Pitt Football Championship Fund. Why was that important to you?
Well, where I'm,
The first thing is it's something I haven't been able to do my whole life, really. You know, you grow up in the coaching world, you know, you don't make enough money to ever give back. But, you know, we talk to our kids all the time about giving back to the community, and you know, we expect our kids to give back their time and you know, and who they are. And, you know, as a coach, you know, sometimes I don't have time to go out in the community as much as I'd like to, but the one thing I can do is give back to the University of Pittsburgh, and that's what Don and I'd like to do.
Well, you've done it previously with the vaccine fund as well.
Yeah, no question about it. We were happy to do that, and I wish they were one of the vaccine people. I wish we would have said, yeah, that worked out good. But it's been great.
Well, it's phenomenal to see that stuff. Meanwhile, I want to get back to a couple football questions for you. You went to the Senior Bowl with Charlie Partridge, 4 of your players playing in that. What was that experience like?
You know, it's incredible to go down there. You know, I've been down there every year that we've had a player. It was great to have 3 down there in 1 year. Again, it was a COVID experience at the Senior Bowl. Usually you can go down there and you're right on the field. I mean, I can high five, you know, DeMar Hamlin or Rashad Weaver or Patrick Jones, the 3 individuals down there. But, you know, this year we had to, you know, stay in the stands, and, you know, there was very limited people at the Senior Bowl. But it was great to go see our kids down there, watch them compete. And, you know, talking with them afterwards, probably the best thing you could ever hear out of one of our players' mouth is saying, Coach, we are so prepared to be there. And that's what it's all about. I mean, we try to prepare these guys. You try to win football games, but you're probably, you know, most trying to prepare them for those guys that have that future in the NFL. And to say, you know, they walked out of there going, Coach, we know everything. We are ahead. You know, down there in Alabama, Mobile, that's the most impressive thing.
Way up in the draft. 30-13. Look out, Jamie Newman. There he is. Patrick Jones, welcome to the party.
That's wonderful to hear. Meanwhile, the Pro Day this year, no combine in Indianapolis. How does that differ from a normal Pro Day?
Well, you know, the first thing is we're going to have it televised. You know, we're going to try to do as much as we can for our student athletes, for our players that participate. I think we've got, you know, 15 or 16 guys in Pro Day this year, but, you know, it's their one stage. You know, they've worked 3, 4, 5 years at the University of Pittsburgh to get that opportunity to go to a combine or show what they have in front of an NFL audience. And so we're going to try to make the best of it and give them every opportunity to showcase who they are as people.
Meanwhile, look, they can turn on the TV and see what they want to be, or they can look here at the Pitt facility and see Aaron Donald walking around and working out. How inspiring is that for the players to see the guy who is universally hailed as the best defensive player in football and a former Pitt guy walking around here and working out?
It's impressive. I mean, I get excited when he's down in the weight room, you know, working out. I mean, he's been down there the last few days. He's getting tested. You know, we're going to take care of him that way and make sure he can get into his weight room and get a workout in. So, you know, our kids love it. You know, I think they walk in that weight room when he's there. I think they walk in there just to see what he's doing and how he's working. Well, you're busy now because you have the Pro Day and guys moving on, hopefully matriculating onto the NFL, but you also have the spring game coming up in April. How do you get your team prepared for that spring game? Are you going to have any hitting? Is there going to be any contact prior to that game? There better be, okay? It ain't spring ball if we don't hit. But, you know, right now, you know, our approach is it's going to be a normal spring. You know, whether we get our parents to come to the spring game or not, are we going to have, you know, any fans there? Are we going to have scrimmages where the fans, you know, and parents can come to? I don't know. But we're going to get our 15 days of spring ball in. It sounds like, feels like it, as long as, you know, we don't start going backwards on the curve. But, you know, we're prepared right now with meetings. We got 2 hours a week with meeting time with our players. So, you know, we had walkthroughs today. We're doing a little bit of slow tempo ABCs, and again, they're, you know, as we talked earlier, you know, they're prepared in the weight room, so we're physically getting them prepared. And then spring ball comes, we get to coach, and we're going to coach it like a normal spring and hope everything works out. Is there any area in particular you're working on with the team? Any area of concern? Anything beyond a particular area on the team that, again, that was maybe caused by the COVID world that you have to tighten up or pull together? You know, it's all areas. I mean, you know, we got through 11 games. We're blessed to get through 11 games, so we got some football in, but it's all fundamentals, techniques, and knowledge of the game. I mean, you're working on everything. You know, we're not going to make up time from where we were before, but the development, the fine-tuned coaching, in the discipline of our football program is going to end and begin with spring ball. Coach, great to see you and great to have a chance to catch up. No doubt. Good to have you. All right, that is Coach Pat Narduzzi, and we thank you for watching this edition of Pitt Beyond the Script.
Team on three, 1, 2, 3. Talk it off.